morning, good afternoon, and good evening to one and all. Welcome to the ITU Club meeting number 208. I am your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, and my name is Ayushi. I'll start the meeting by stating with the mission of our club. Mission of our club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before beginning the meeting, let me explain some basic rules to be followed in the meeting. I request all of you to put all your noise-making devices into silent mode. I give you 10 seconds to do that. Please clap whenever the control is transferred. You can use the virtual option to do so. Please check for your audio and video connection before speaking. Please stay muted if you are not on any role which may distract the speaker. Please refrain from speaking on sex, politics, and religion in any derogatory manner. We welcome all the guests today and shall ensure you enjoy today's meeting. With this, I would like to invite someone who has been a Toastmaster for about 9 months now. He served as a Vice President membership for this club in the last term and currently serving as President of the club. He works as a category manager at a medical device company. His hobbies include reading, hiking, and trying not to work past 5 p.m. With this, I would like to invite President Toastmaster Nishit onto this virtual stage. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Nishit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arishi. Good morning and good evening, everyone, and welcome to all our members and guests on today's meeting for the ITU Toastmaster Club. My name is Nishit, and I currently act as the club's president. Give me a few minutes to say a few words about Toastmasters for our guests. Toastmaster International is a nonprofit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. It's headquartered in Englewood, Colorado. The organization's membership exceeds 300,000 in more than 15,800 clubs around 149 countries. Since 1924, Toastmaster International has helped people from diverse backgrounds become more confident speakers, communicators, and leaders. And now let's continue with our meeting today. I'd like to introduce you to our Toastmaster of the Day. Our Toastmaster of the Day is DTM Raghunatha Raju. So please join me in welcoming DTM Raghu to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nishit. Negotiation is what happens at each and every moment of life, isn't it? They say you negotiate your life even from the womb of your mother, the moment you drop on the earth, till the time of death, when you keep negotiating with the god of death, asking for that extra second, extra minute to live on this earth. In every walk of life, we negotiate, and the people who succeed in the negotiation are the successful people every time. Whether negotiation is an art or science, it all depends upon situation. People talk about situation-based leadership, but that situation-based leadership is also about situation-based negotiation. Are you going for a win-win negotiation? Or are you going for a win-lose where one of the parties loses, or lose-lose one where both the parties compromise for achieving a target? It all depends how do you choose it. Well, let's discuss more. And then let me start the meeting, explain the structure of the meeting. In this meeting, we are going to have 3 parts. First part is prepared speeches. It's all about learning to practice, and then maintaining the discipline of time. Prepared speeches. Second thing is about impromptu speech, where we learn to talk on the feet, where we develop our critical thinking as well. Third is evaluation. It's all about feeding your brain with the food necessary for improving yourself. Before we move to prepared speeches, let me introduce the role plays for today. Let me introduce the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Nishit, who is going to introduce the word of the day and also explain how he's going to help us in the grammarian role. Nishit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. I'll be playing the role of grammarian today, and as a grammarian, it is my job to listen to everyone speak and listen closely to the grammar usage and structure, and take note of any um, words that you use that are of interest. And at the evaluation section, it is my job to give you guys a feedback on your grammar usage and see if how many times people have used the word of the day. With that said, the word of the day today is utmost. Utmost meaning of most importance. And if I were to use it in a sentence, it would be my utmost priority for this year is to be fit and spend more time on my personal relationships. Again, word of the day is utmost, and I will put that on my background so everyone can see that. So yeah, with that, I'd like to go back to Toastmaster Raghu.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nishit. Certainly, it is utmost important to us to keep the meeting on time. Now, let me introduce the timer of the day, Toastmaster Ramakrishna, who is going to help us time. And this is a very crucial role, which will help us to understand and also stay in the timelines of the meeting. Ramakrishna.
Hello everyone, good morning and good evening. Today I've taken the role of a timer. So I will be capturing the timer for the speakers mentioned in the invite. They are Raghunanda Raju and sorry, I'm not able to see the other members in the group. Yeah. So the timer, if it is within the time, I will have the background as green, and then I will turn it to yellow if it is just crossing, and if it cross the time limits, I turn the background to red.
Good, thank you, Ramakrishna. So prepared speeches today that we have, it is 5 to 7 minutes. And then 5, 6, 7 is the timelines. Then we also have table topics, which is 1 to 2 minutes, 1.5 and 2. And then for evaluation, it's 2 to 3 minutes. So we'll have the time guidelines when we have that section. Now, talking about negotiation, we've been negotiating in each and every section of Toastmaster as well, trying to squeeze in the timing that we need for our role, isn't it? Now, let's talk about win-win situation. And when you're in negotiating, it's about the satisfaction of both the parties. Trust me, in your negotiation, when both the parties have the win, when you both of you win, but they're in between your negotiation, that is where you both have some sweet in your mouth and you love that situation when you both win, and they will also develop a relation that is everlasting for your business to flourish. Second thing is, if it is when win-lose method, there's always a bitterness in the person who loses that negotiation, but that was required for that moment. And also there are situations where you want to lose to gain some business, or for the person that you love to stay in relation with. But if you are in the situation for long, it is intended that other person thinks that you're weak and you are not able to negotiate better. You don't have the skills just for that required job or anything. So you never go for a continuous win-lose method where you are in the lose part. Lose-lose is more like when both the parties compromise, come into agreement, especially let us say when there's a conflict and both the parties have to stay together. That is when they compromise a bit and they stay together. It's rarely done, not a continued practice. It's just for that situation. We'll talk more when we keep going through this, our part of this meeting today. Let me initiate the first part of the meeting, which is prepared speeches. Our first speech today is Usman Safi. He is attempting his level 3 project. So before I invite the speaker, can I ask first evaluator Toastmaster Kalpana to share the speech objective for Usman?
Thank you, DTM Raghu. I'm sorry I'm not able to switch on my camera due to some technical challenges. Today, Toastmaster sorry, Usman is attempting level 3 project to connect with audience. And the purpose of this project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or give a speech that is a story. Timer, please note the timing of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes and the speech title is Realization. I wish you all the best, Toastmaster Usman. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Usman, can you quickly check your video audio?
Toastmaster, can you please confirm, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible and visible, Paul. Thank you very much, Usman. Toastmaster Usman, realization, Toastmaster Usman.
Can you please confirm who is the timer so that I could pin in?
Ramakrishna. So you can also check for the chat. Ramakrishna will place the time in the chat. Okay. Is it fine with you, Usman?
Yes, I'm good to go.
So I will invite you with this title again. Toastmaster Usman, realization, Toastmaster Usman.
When the water falls from the glass, it does not make an impact. Then, when the glass itself falls down, then we realize that we have lost something that cannot be restored. Good evening, good morning, Toastmasters. School days were the best days of our life, isn't it? Hey, but do not regret. Those who are unmarried, you guys are still living the best days of your life. Let me take you back to my school days, when my school friends and I used to take revenge from our class monitor, when we have made school the second home of our parents. Those who remain class monitor during their school time, please listen to our feelings as well. Cheating is an art. It does not feel good when someone stops you from learning this art. School monitor of my class pretended to be honest in front of every teacher. So to test his honesty, we devised a plan. What was the plan? We took a ₹1,000 note, tied that note with a string, and put that note on the stairs often used by our class monitor. Now I had a string on my hand while my other friends were waiting and thinking what would happen. After waiting for a while, we saw that class monitor was coming from that side. While passing the stairs, when he saw the note, he stopped there. He looked around, and the moment he tried to pick up that note, my friends and I ran toward him, grabbed him, and labeled him as greedy and dishonest. We went to our teachers and told her the truth. However, our teacher did not believe us because of our poor reputation in the school, but instead he alleged us of intimidating class monitor and so called our parents. After 2 days, our parents were standing in front of the principal, and the principal was like, "You might be aware what your children have done. You must teach them good manners. Otherwise, I would not allow them to sit in the classroom." That day, we could see the shame and tears in our parents' eyes. But we went astray. So we continued our naughty act as our parents' emotion had not affected us at all. After that day, after a few months, my friends and I did not like teachers giving us excessive homework. Due to such hatred, we used to annoy our teachers. Sorry, teachers. We entered into a teacher's washroom, locked the door from inside, and then came out of the washroom by climbing the wall. So whenever teacher came to washroom, it seemed that the washroom was occupied, but in fact, it was not. We repeated this act for the 3 consecutive days, when on the 4th day, the sweeper locked the door and our teacher was really inside. What? Why? It was sweeper responsibility before he closed the main washroom door to check whether someone was in the washroom or not. When we closed the main washroom door for the last 3 days, sweeper waited for half an hour, thinking that someone was really inside, but in fact, no one was. However, on the 4th day, when he closed the main washroom door without checking, as he thought that someone was annoying him for the last 3 days, but my teacher was really inside. He asked for help, but no one was there. And he could not contact with anyone as he had forgotten his phone in teacher's room. After one day, when the door was open, my class teacher was thirsty, hungry, and furious. After investigation, the truth came in front of the principal, and once again, our parents were standing in front of the principal, and principal was like, "Your children have exceeded all the limits. From now onward, I would not allow your children to sit in the classroom. Disobedient children, careless parents." That day, we could see the shame and tears in our parents' eyes. But we went astray, so we joined another school and continued our naughty acts. One day while I was at home, I received a call from a friend. "Hi, Usman. Hi, bro. What's up? What are you doing?" "Usman, I lost my father." "What? Where? Where are you right now, bro?" "I'm at home." "Do not worry. I'm coming in a jiffy." I went to his home. On reaching there, I saw my friend lying in front of his deceased father's body, begging his father pardon for all the pain he had caused him. "Baba, I'm sorry, Baba. I never made you happy. I never took care of your respect. You kept on teaching me, but I never realized that how much pain you had bared for me, Baba. Please forgive me, Baba. Please forgive me." That day, while standing over there, I could realize the pain my father had bared. I went back home and begged my father pardon for all the pain I had caused him. Toastmasters and guests, please take care of your loved ones before they left us and made us realize that broken glass, once broken, cannot be restored. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much for sharing that message. Certainly, the glass broken can never be stitched back together. We need to realize that in life, there's so many moments where we need to be serious enough and value the relation before the time just flies around. It is for our utmost importance that we need to give for the relations, at least for your parents who are always our well-wishers, irrespective of the time, irrespective of the pain that we cause to them. It's time for our second speech. Our second speaker is our beloved Kaushik. And before I invite the speaker, let me invite our second speech evaluator who is joining today from Kazakhstan, Toastmaster Adikar, to give speech objectives for Kaushik.
Good morning, good evening, dear friends. Well, I'm glad to be a speech evaluator for Toastmaster Kaushik, and he's presenting level 1, project 3, in which actually every Toastmaster learns how to write the script of his speech in order to present an utmost and well-prepared and well-executed speech. So we are looking for any kind of speech from Toastmaster Kaushik today in order to see how writing the speech helped him to improve his performance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Adikar. Kaushik, before I invite you with your title, can you please check your audio and video?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, but can you just move a little bit behind your camera? Sure, yes. Otherwise, it's more like you're intimidating me. Toastmaster Kaushik, distraction kills your dreams. Distraction kills your dreams, Toastmaster Kaushik.
One of the most powerful abilities in the history of mankind is the attention of a human being. The greatest discoveries of all time, the greatest inventions of all time have come into existence because someone somewhere paid very close attention to those small intricacies of this world that the world considered to be insignificant. I request you all to pay attention, little bit attention to my speech today, and I hope you will not let distraction kill your dreams and then focus on what's important. Good morning, good evening, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters. A couple of weeks ago, I stumbled across a video which talks about how to overcome distraction, and it really helped me a lot. And I want to share that message with you all today. It starts with a quote from a monk which says, "Distraction is like a parasite to the mind. If you don't kill distraction, distraction will kill your dreams." So if you take a look at an apple tree, it takes 6 long years to start giving you fruits. But when it starts giving you fruits, it's got lush green leaves, beautiful fruits, and a very strong trunk. But as soon the weather condition keep changing, there are a few parasites which pop up on the trunk. At first, these may look very insignificant. But if you don't kill the parasite soon enough, the tree is going to rot because the parasite is going to suck all of its nutrients. Distraction to the mind is just like the parasite to an healthy apple tree. So if you don't kill distraction, you will not be able to utilize your humongous potential in your mind to its fullest potential, and eventually it will end up killing your dreams. So what exactly is the root cause of this problem, and how should we deal with this? So I'm going to share 5 things with you today. So every time you're working on something, or every time you're reading a book, you have to understand that your brain is forming billions of neurological connections to help you understand that information and turn the information into knowledge, and then turn the knowledge into wisdom. So when the process is happening, your brain is forming billions of when this process is happening, your brain is exercising the superpower that no other living species on this planet is capable of. But we take this for granted. And the superpower that we are practicing never really gets utilized to its fullest potential, or never even get utilized at all, because we never focus. I want you all to understand how the technology around you works. Companies spend billions of dollars to make apps like Instagram and TikTok a part of your lifestyle. It's not a coincidence that you open these apps every time when you're bored. It's not a coincidence, but a strategic move by one of the best behavioral scientists in the world. And it's not a bad thing, because that's how business are done. It becomes a bad thing when it intrudes into your life so much that it becomes a hurdle for your progress. So the one who is supposed to act on it is not those companies, but you. So here, I'm going to give you a simple procedure. So you have to segregate for this. You will have to segregate your apps in your phone into 3 categories: important, not so important, not at all important. And you have to turn off the notifications for not so important and not at all important. And I will leave this up to you and your maturity to decide what apps are important and what notifications in those applications are important priority in your life, because everybody has different priority. So why should we do this? Because you will not get distracted from distraction by distraction. Okay, I'll give you an example. So last week, I was working on my assignment, and then I heard a notification sound. I immediately checked my phone. So, and then it's so funny enough that it's not even my notification tone. I heard it from the other room. So then I unlocked my phone, I opened YouTube. I thought, okay, I saw this English Premier League highlights. That's okay, I'll see the highlights and then do my work. Then I think after 45 to 50 minutes, I regained my senses, only to realize that I was in the App Store searching for latest released applications for my MacBook Air. And I'm sure these things happen to all of us. Do you agree with me? Thank you. So to avoid this, always tell yourself one thing. If you don't kill distraction, distraction will kill your dreams. But I'm sure that you'll have that persistence to turn off your notifications and avoid watching game highlights or whatever it is that you're doing in between of something important work. So last, I'm going to end up with a quote. So Ray Kroc, founder of McDonald's, when asked about what is the secret for his success to bring a $700 million franchise, starting a $700 billion franchise at the age of 52, he replied by saying one word: persistence. Nothing can replace the good old persistence. Nothing can replace the good old persistence. Genius won't, because he says, sorry, talent won't, because he says, nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius won't, because he says, unrecognized genius is practically a cliche. And education won't, because the world is full of educated fools. Persistence is alone powerful. At the end of the day, it's all about one thing. Do you have the persistence to kill the distraction, or will you let distraction kill your dreams? Thank you. And back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kaushik. The speech today reminded me a couple of things. In one of the international speech contests happening at the World Championship, a person paused for almost 15 seconds on the stage, and he wrote an article what he thought about it, what was the audience experience. It's okay because you're still learning and it is just your third speech. You did great. I loved the word game that you played in your speech. Certainly, distraction kills our brains, kills our day. You never know when you keep swiping through your videos, audios, or anything on the TV, and the day becomes just the night. Thank you very much for an intriguing speech today, Toastmaster Kaushik. With that, we conclude our speech section. Now it's trying to test how good you are at your critical thinking. And we have the master who can distract you more than enough. Dite Mabiji, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Raghu. I request everyone to turn on your cameras. Let's get started. My first question is for you, Nishit. Nishit, are you ready?
Yes.
If every animal was the size of a domestic cat, what pet would you want? If every animal was the size of a domestic cat, what pet would you want? Nishit.
If every animal was size of a domestic cat, so I would actually want elephant, because elephant is thought to be one of the most intelligent animal on the planet, not counting dolphins and sea planets, sea animals, I guess. So, and they're cute. I mean, I grew up watching movies on elephant, and in India we place a pretty particular importance on elephants because, I mean, they are intelligent. So I think if their size isn't a restrictive factor, then definitely an elephant, because they are very cute. Back to you, Rishi.
Nishit, thank you so much. I would have also taken the elephant. Thank you for sharing that. My next question is for you, Bhupinder. Bhupinder, can you hear me? Abdul, are you ready? Your most challenging moment. Your most challenging moment, Abdul.
Abdul, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah. So my most challenging moment was during my MTech. I thought to leave the MTech because of my project and all. And in our college, we have a lot of research work and a lot of assignments and a lot of test procedures. So I was, whenever I was trying for these results, I was not getting it. So literally, I managed with the help of my friend. So I talked to my friend. I told to many friends. So please help me out for the classification of these images. What I was doing for the brain tumor classification. So he helped me out in the last moment. So I was so lucky, and it was so challenging for me. And I was keep on praying and giving myself a self-motivated person. So that was my great challenging moment. So taking the MTech degree is so much for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdul. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I also had very similar moments in my life. My next question is for you, Bhupinder. Are you ready?
Yes.
Your most satisfying failure. Your most satisfying failure, Bhupinder.
My most satisfying failure. Wow, I never thought about this. Well, first of all, I think there's nothing like failure in life. And there's this a quote I heard, the abbreviation for fail. It's your first attempt in learning. So I don't think anything is there like failure. And I've heard people like Oprah Winfrey say, failure is only rerouting you to a different direction. So I had quite a few satisfying failures as such, where I was rerouted to a different path. And one was very recent in a last couple of years, where I enrolled for the MBA. Even though I was satisfied with the job I was at with very minimum pay scale, but somehow I decided to scale up and to become better and improve my skills and think I can have a better job and a better life for myself. So yeah, this was my recent and most satisfying failure.
Thank you, Bhupendra. Thank you for sharing that. I totally agree with you. Failures actually are a stepping stone towards success. My next question is for you, Pushpalata. Can you hear me? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm there.
Perfect. My question for you is never again, Pushpalata.
I couldn't get your question. Can you repeat it?
Yeah. So question is, I'm just going to give you 2 words and you have to talk about it. Okay? Never again, Pushpalata.
Oh, never again. There are many things actually that we can say never again to in our life. One thing I would say, it relates to this speech. Earlier we heard distractions. Never again. Yes. Like I will say distraction should never again in our life, and we should focus more on our goals. One more thing I will say never again is sometimes we give favor to people and they're quite mean, or they just take your advantage, but still you give them favor. At that time, I feel sometimes that never again, or never again give favor to other people who you don't know how they will behave in future. So yes, that's what I feel, never again, and focus on your goals.
Thank you, Pushpalata. Thank you for sharing that. That was actually a trick question so that you can think faster. My next question is for you. Usman, are you ready?
Yes, I'm.
One more time. Usman.
Well, let me introduce myself. I'm from Pakistan, Karachi, and I'm a chartered accountant student. So, as you all know, that being a chartered accountant student, it's a challenging and tough life. Being a part of such prestigious organizations such as A. Ferguson, you daily have to come out of your comfort zone. So, whenever I feel like giving up, I teach myself that once again I need to start why I enter into this field. When you have to give time to your organization as well as to your studies, it feels exhausted. But once again, I think that why I came into this field, and that is one of the things that motivates me, because pondering on your past and realizing why you enter into this field is actually something that helps you keep going. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Usman. Thank you for sharing that. Our next question is for you, Ayushi. Ayushi, your funniest moment. Ayushi.
So I remember one of the recent funniest member I had. So I was in my hometown 1 month back. I went to a shop for some grocery purchasing. I met someone over there whom I thought was my teacher at school. So I touched his feet And then he started asking me, who are you? Where are you from? And I thought, oh my God, I think I taught someone wrong, like some kids I didn't know. Then he started following me, asking me, like, who are you? Who are you? Then I got panic and I ran away. Then I came back home. And then I asked, then later I got to know that he was one of my father's friend, and he came to our house 2 or 3 days later. Then again, I was like, out of ashamed. I was like, I went to bathroom and I was out for like 40 minutes till the time he was on our hand. This was like most awkward moment I ever had.
Thank you, Aishi. Thank you for sharing your awkward moments with us. My next question is for you, Grace. Grace, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Grace, your question, your biggest fear, Grace.
Thank you for that question, Abhijit Joshi. I think my biggest fear is not being able to remember things or having Alzheimer's later on in my life. I know Alzheimer's runs in the family because my grandfather died of Alzheimer's. And it is one of the things, I mean, I saw it firsthand when he would not remember us anymore. And it pains me to see people, especially relatives, who are visiting him and he cannot remember those things. And so it is one of my biggest fears as well, that later on in my life, since it runs in my blood, that I would be able to get that same disease. So that is my greatest fear. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Same thing with my family too. We have Alzheimer's in our family also. So I can totally relate to that. Who wants to participate in the next question? Anyone?
Yeah, this is Toastmaster Pragya.
Pragya, yes. Pragya, your pet peeve, Pragya.
Can you share exact meaning of peeve? I couldn't understand.
Pet peeve is something you don't like, something like a dirty kitchen. It's like I don't like a dirty kitchen. That's my pet peeve.
Okay. So first of all, good morning, everyone. This is Toastmaster Pragya. I'm from Rungta Toastmaster Club. And yeah, something I don't like is, as I am, I like exercise more and more. When in lockdown, I started my exercise journey, right? So now I am habitual with exercise, physical activities, and yoga and all. So in my family, my younger brother never do any physical work. So these things, not physical work and not doing exercise, is most irritated thing for me. So yeah, I can say ki I don't like this type of thing. Please do exercise and something physical work, so that you can achieve your something mental good things and all. So yeah, over to you, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you, Pragya. Thank you for sharing your pet peeve. Back to you, Raghu. It's all you.
Thank you, Abhijit. I was able to negotiate with Abhijit today and get my utmost importance of being a Toastmaster. You have seen the table topics today. It's all about improving your critical thinking on the spot. People might respond fluently or people might have difficulty. But one thing that helps you to grow as a speaker in both the section, whether it is prepared speeches or the impromptu speeches, is practice, 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 and persistence, as our second speaker have mentioned today. Before we move to the third section, evaluation, let me talk how a negotiation as art is important and how we learn it. Before you negotiate, first is swallow your fears and then make your first bid. Don't wait for the other person to make. And don't hesitate to make a proper bid, because both the parties almost every time know the value of what is you're going to negotiate, whether it is your job offer negotiation, the salary that you're going to get, or when you're going to sell something to your customer, or the way that you're going to make a presentation for sharks and ask for some investment in your business. Second thing is use silence as your advantage. Most of the time, if you keep talking, that might give you negative vibes. If you use that silence, it gives you extra advantage. Plan for the worst, but then always expect the best. So be prepared for the worst, but same time, when you go prepared for the same, you're planning and doing your best, certainly you'll do best in your negotiation. When you're doing that, never set an error. For example, let us say, Toastmaster Kaushik, and let us say, Kaushik, how much salary you want? You cannot say, okay, from $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Then as an HR, I'll always try to close it to the lower end. Okay, can you come for 4,500? But when Kaushik is expecting about $10,000, that doesn't give a proper picture. So you need to have pinpoint about what exactly you want. They say, let us say, I am expecting about $9,000. Then the HR will negotiate and make it 8,000. And then when you're making a decision, try to make a single decision. Don't wait for others. When you go alone and you are the only person trying to make a decision, you will always have the weightage. People will always respect the decision. Next thing is use time for your advantage. And then once you have the proper time that you're choosing, and then you're waiting for the person to bid on, then you will have more advantage to it. The last but not least is don't fall for emotional statements or bold statement. Can't you do this for me? I'm your friend. I'm going to give you the best that you want. And you will never know. For example, it always happens when the HR negotiates with you. And you never know when will the HR even exist in the company after hiring you. It happens in every front. So don't fall for these statements. And remember, a negotiation is can become an everlasting relation by the way that you're turning it. Try to always go for win-win situation for both the parties. And trust me, that always if you're in a business, it will make an everlasting customer for you. If you're in a normal relationship with a professional, it also will make everlasting friends. And then you can connect it with the other party every time. With that note, let me introduce our first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Kalpana, who is going to evaluate our speaker, Usman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. I was about to negotiate and ask you if you can flip my order, but then I didn't try it. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, one and all, and special good morning to Toastmaster Usman. What a wonderful speech you have given. I was waiting for you to tell a story. I thought you would tell some story which would have been, a story that you would have heard, but you have beautifully structured a story with your childhood and your current state. That was good job there. So I would like to tell you what went well and what could be bettered in your speech. First of all, the way you have delivered your speech, that was amazing. And you have given proper message, and your transition were really good. I would appreciate on that. Coming to areas of improvement, I would firstly tell you, you should be able to show yourself better in the camera. I was able to see only till shoulders. This I'm telling you with respect to the contest that you are going to appear in future. If you are going to present this speech in any of the contest, I would suggest you to position your camera in such a way that you'll be able to show yourself more and your hand gestures are not going away from the camera frame. Two, I would like to tell you to try and keep your speech with more of voice modulation and emotions when you are delivering your speech. That will definitely be more impactful. When you are mischievous, show that funny sound. And when your parents are saying that, they are feeling bad, shrug yourself and show that from your voice. And finally, when you are sad for what you are repenting, show that also with a voice that will be more impactful in your speech. I would also suggest you to ensure you are practicing better so that you will deliver a flawless speech and you will have more time to explain rather than bringing it until you are in the red zone of the timer cards. I wish you all the best for your future speeches and hope you will be able to implement all the suggestions we have given and get benefit for your speech. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kalpana. Usman, I hope you are able to take the feedback when we Kalpana, and I wish you all the best for your array podcast. Our second speaker, Toastmaster Kaushik, will be evaluated by our friend Toastmaster Adhikar.
Again, good morning and good evening, everyone. Thank you. I am from Almaty and Turan Toastmasters clubs here in Kazakhstan, and I'm happy to be evaluating Toastmaster Kaushik. Toastmaster Kaushik, there are a number of things I certainly liked about your speech. First of all, you've been standing in front of the camera and using appropriate hand gestures, and we could see you rather properly, to my mind, and it was really, really good. I mean, the speech delivery was really representative. And of course, the speech was very up to the audience. Yes, everyone nowadays gets really too much distracted. And I liked that you used your phone as a prompt in both ways, as a distractor and as in the beginning, you put a good music with it. You created this, environment of intrigue. Actually, I really liked it because I was like, what to expect after the music, that was really nice. You are also good at building the speech and following your speech. And I believe that maybe this was a new for you method to write it down and try to keep it up all in your mind and also try to deliver it. So you might want to work on and keeping this same new maybe tradition for you. I know this is the hard and toughest part of it. Yes, when we write the speech, it looks like in one way. When you memorize it, it makes you remember every word. And when you're delivering your speech and you suddenly forget a word, you have to go back and remember again. So that's what happened to you a couple of times. And from one side, I thought maybe this is because you couldn't remember the part of your speech, or maybe because this was you were a little bit nervous in presentation. So I know that there is maybe a long way for you to grow still, and I wish you to grow and in the future with writing every your speech down. But the mastery is reached when you know that you have written your speech, you memorized it well, but still you feel very free as a speaker on the stage without trying to remember every word from it, but being very, very close to what you have written. So I hope that you will be continuing this practice. And it took me maybe actually over than 5 years to, come up with this flow when I write things down, and then I can keep up with what I have written. Practice, and maybe sometimes it's not important to remember every word in your future speeches. Try to remember the introduction words, the words for the main part, maybe paragraphs 1, 2, and the words for the conclusion. Thank you for presenting your quotes, and thank you for the speech overall. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Adhikar. It's time to go into the meeting evaluation. Let me invite the grammarian for today, Toastmaster Rishi, to present the grammarian report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. Thank you, everyone, for participating. And overall, it was a great session today. So I appreciate everyone's work. Hold on 1 second. I started something here. Okay, so I would like to go ahead and start my evaluation. So word of the day, again, as a reminder, it was utmost. I apologize if I didn't hear anyone say it, but I only counted one usage of utmost by Raghu. So try to incorporate the word in your speeches. I didn't incorporate in my 2-minute section either, so that's on me as well. But the word is on here, so just in future, just try to incorporate it. Then for our first speech giver, Usman, there are a couple of things I caught. One of the sentences you used was revenge from. Taking a revenge from somebody, the correct should be the revenge on somebody. Just a little grammatical thing. Then I heard you say ashtray a couple of times, and that should be pronounced astray. It sounded a little bit off, but other than that, it was fine. And then I couldn't hear the word you used with pain. You said this person had taken some pain or something. The word I think would have worked, and I apologize if you said this word. It should be endured. So those were some of the specific things I caught. Then for Kaushik, some of the interesting words I heard from you were humongous and segregate. Good to hear those words. It worked well with your speech and opens up your vocabulary a little bit. With that said, there was a little bit of a repetitiveness. You said humongous potential and to the fullest potential. You could kind of contract that statement a little bit. You said that's how businesses are done. Should be business are done. It should be business is done. And I caught that a couple of times. So just pay attention on your singular or plural word usage. I think overall you're doing pretty well, but just something to look into. And for both of you, I would say just pay attention to your pronunciation and just typical grammar like tense, past tense, and present tense, and just singular or plural things. As far as I did not evaluate the mini speeches, the table topics, because it's just a really small amount of time to really do a justice to it. And as far as evaluation for the speeches from both Kalpana and Idikar, I think both were good. I didn't catch any issues, but just generally, I would say pay attention to the repetitive words. I did hear a couple of times words were being repeated, and the pronunciation. The pronunciation, my thought on pronunciation is different from how you pronounce things in Kazakhstan or in India. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah. So thanks again, everyone, for participating, and back to you, Toastmaster Raghu.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ramakrishna, for taking the timer role. Can you post it in the chat for everyone to know? I hope you have some learning from today's meeting, whether it is how to negotiate better in life or how you can improve as a speaker. Remember, patience and persistence is what helps you in life, whether it is negotiating better or whether it is improving yourself. The last thing in Toastmaster, if you have to improve yourself, practice, practice, practice. And I'm sure it will help you in every walk of life, whether it is a personal, professional, or even an entrepreneurial journey. And I wish you all the best for that. With that note, I adjourn the meeting officially and would like to take feedback from our guests today. We have a lot of guests today. Let me start with Safala, who is joining us from today, United States. So Safala, can you please give feedback on the meeting?
Yeah, hi everyone, this is Safala, and yeah, I just found today's class is so effective. Yeah, I'll just join this class. I'm just thinking to join these classes.
Wonderful, Safala. I'll discuss more and then we can talk about the membership.
Yeah.
Now let me invite our guest Grace about our feedback on the meeting.
Yes, hi, this is Grace. I am a student also from ITU, and I really enjoyed the meeting. I've learned a lot from the two speeches today, as well as the table topics. It really improves critical thinking and be able to answer fast in short amount of time. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Grace. Looking forward for you to join our club as a member because it's all about ITU Toastmasters. It's about ITU. And then we also had Bhupinder. Bhupinder, what is your feedback for the meeting today?
I think it's a good experience to give impromptu answers. It really makes you think out of the box, so it's good.
Thank you, Bhupinder. I also want to ask Pushpalata on our feedback to this meeting.
Yeah, it was wonderful as usual. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pushpalata. Can we have our visiting Toastmaster who was there from the beginning? Can I ask Madam Cole on our feedback on the meeting?
Thank you, Raghu. I was late a bit, but managed to catch your two speakers. Good speech, good try. Anyway, it's a really good encouragement and it's a learning ground for every meeting from your side. This is why, even though I was busy in the morning, but I managed to catch the majority part of it. Thank you. Well done. Keep it up, Raghu.
Thank you.
DTM, Raghu.
Thank you, Madam Cole. Thank you for joining the time. Let me ask our visiting Toastmaster Vamsi Krishna and his feedback.
Yeah, hi, good evening, Raghu. Hi, actually, I just don't have any words to say. Actually, means I'll just say only one thing. No matter how much you know, how many things you know, how perfect you are, you have to move or to go forward. You have to learn something. Yeah, because without that, you have to keep on learning. Yeah, I've learned that today actually from this meeting. Actually. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vamsi. Certainly, there's always a scope of improvement, and that's what Toastmaster teaches us and helps us to grow that and tells us exactly what is that area of improvement we need to work upon.
Yeah.
Can I ask Falguni to give her feedback?
Yeah, hello all. I joined this meeting a little late, but I was able to hear Mr. Raghu for the negotiation skills. It's wonderful tips he gave. The same issues I have when I do it, and I was able to relate. his tips which he gave, and I'm looking forward that if I can implement those tips. And also the evaluation part, which I heard from the from the evaluators, they are very pinpoint. And yes, I would like to, this is my first time I'm attending, but I will like to continue attending this kind of meetings in the future. Thank you.
Good, thank you, Falguni. I request everyone who are new to the meeting and for joining the first time or as joining as a guest, please sign up our guest book and we'll ensure to keep you updated on our meeting schedule. Toastmaster Santosh, I know you joined late, but the right time for table topics. So how was your experience today?
Yeah. Hi, good morning. I just only not have any specific syllabus. Apart from that, I do not have anything else. Thank you, Raghu, for inviting me for this meeting.
Thank you, Santosh. Can I ask our guest speaker today, Toastmaster Usman, on the feedback, how he felt about the meeting and the evaluation that he received today?
Thank you, DTM Raghu. I'm honored to be a part of your meeting. And this is actually my first meeting outside Pakistan. I really thoroughly enjoyed your meeting. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to be the part of your meeting in the future as well. I really learned from the evaluator the points he has actually, the area of improvement he has shared with me, and I look forward to improve on these areas. Thank you, Dr.
Sure, that's part. All the best. Adhikar.
Dear friends, thank you for having me in your meeting. This is really nice classical meeting with all three parts. I liked and enjoyed my presence with you. And I hope that sometime, not every week, I will be joining from time to time your meeting and see how you improve. Thank you.